The phone rings at 2:17 in the afternoon, and just like that, my world splits in half. Before and after. Living and dying. Truth and lies. Vanessa, it's your mother. You need to come now. Uncle Robert's voice cracks, something I've never heard in my 65 years of knowing him. She's had a heart attack. They're working on her at St. Mary's. My fingers go numb. The coffee mug slips, shatters against the kitchen tile. Dark liquid spreads like blood across the white floor. Tom! I call out, my voice echoing through our too-big house. Tom, I need you. He appears in the doorway of his home office, wireless earbuds in place, annoyance etched across his face. I'm on a call. My mother had a heart attack. I need you to drive me to St. Mary's. He sighs, that familiar dismissive exhale that's been grinding away at my soul for 23 years. I've got the Peterson merger meeting in 30 minutes. Can't you take an Uber? The coffee spreads, seeping into the grout lines between tiles. I watch it create patterns, little rivers of brown that remind me of the veins on my mother's hands. My mother is dying. I say, each word precise and sharp. And you're worried about a meeting? Don't be dramatic, Vanessa. Your mother's always been healthy as a horse. He taps his earbuds. I need to get back to this call. Something snaps inside me. Maybe it's the last thread of pretense, or perhaps it's just my patience. You know what? Never mind. I'll drive myself. That's my girl, he says, already turning away. Always independent. My hands shake as I grab my keys. The coffee remains unpainted across the floor. A modern art installation of my shattered afternoon. I leave it there, a testament to this moment. The drive to St. Mary's is a blur of red lights and horn blasts. My phone buzzes repeatedly. Aunt Margaret, Emily, Uncle Robert. I can't answer. Can't split my focus between driving and the reality waiting at the hospital. I find a spot in the emergency parking, crooked across two spaces. Let them tow it. Let the whole world burn down. My mother needs me. The emergency room smells like industrial cleaner and fear. Uncle Robert stands by the intake desk, his normally pristine suit wrinkled, his silver hair disheveled. Where is she? I ask. He pulls me into a hug that feels like surrender. They're still working on her. Margaret's back there. They only allowed one person. Tom? He asks, looking over my shoulder. Meeting, I say. The word tastes like acid. Uncle Robert's jaw tightens. He's never liked Tom, though he's been too polite to say it outright. Of course he is. A doctor appears, still wearing surgical gloves. There's blood on his scrubs. My mother's blood. The world tilts sideways. Mrs. Mitchell? He asks. I nod, unable to speak. I'm sorry. We did everything we could. The words wash over me like ice water. Uncle Robert's arm tightens around my shoulders, holding me upright as my knees buckle. Would you like to see her? The doctor asks gently. I shake my head. Not yet. I want to remember her alive, laughing in her garden last Sunday, telling me about her new rose bushes, telling me I deserved better, telling me it wasn't too late to start over. My phone buzzes again. Tom's face appears on the screen, probably calling to ask about dinner plans or complain about his meeting. I silence it without answering. Emily's on her way, Uncle Robert says softly. She was in class when Margaret reached her. I nod, still staring at my silent phone. 23 years of marriage, and my husband couldn't be bothered to drive me to my mother's deathbed. The thought settles in my chest like a stone, heavy with certainty. Mom was right. It's not too late to start over. Emily bursts through the emergency room doors like a whirlwind, her dark hair wild, mascara smudged beneath her eyes. She looks so much like me at her age that for a moment I forget to breathe. Mom! She crashes into me, and I hold her tight, breathing in the familiar scent of her strawberry shampoo. I got here as fast as I could. Is Grandma? I shake my head against her shoulder. She stiffens, then pulls back to look at me. Where's Dad? The question hangs between us like a razor wire. Before I can answer, Aunt Margaret emerges from the corridor, her face drawn and pale. She takes one look at us and opens her arms. Emily hesitates, glancing at me again. He had a meeting, I say quietly. The Peterson merger. Emily's expression shifts, confusion, then understanding, then something harder. She's seen this before countless times. The missed birthdays, the empty chair at her graduation, the perpetual excuse of work that always seems to matter more than family. Of course he did, she mutters, turning to accept Aunt Margaret's embrace. Uncle Robert's hand finds my shoulder. The doctor needs some paperwork filled out, he says gently. Why don't you let me handle that? I nod, grateful. Forms and signatures feel impossible right now, like trying to solve complex equations while drowning. My phone buzzes again. Tom's message lights up the screen. How's your mother? Meeting ran long. Ordering takeout for dinner. Emily reads the message over my shoulder and makes a sound. Half laugh, half sob. Seriously? Grandma just died and he's asking about dinner. Emily, I start, but she cuts me off. No, Mom. Don't defend him. Not this time. She runs her fingers through her tangled hair. A gesture so like her father it makes my chest ache. You know what? I'm done pretending everything's okay. Grandma always said. She stops abruptly, tears welling in her eyes. What did she say? I asked, though I think I already know. She said you deserved better. That we both did. Emily wipes her eyes roughly. She was right. Aunt Margaret moves closer, her voice low and steady. Helen worried about you, Vanessa. She saw what this marriage was doing to you, even if you couldn't. Or wouldn't, Uncle Robert adds quietly. The truth of their words settles over me like ash. 23 years of making excuses, of smoothing things over, of pretending Tom's indifference was just his way. 23 years of watching my mother's concerned looks, of fielding her gentle suggestions about therapy or separation. My phone buzzes again. Another message from Tom. Should I wait dinner for you? Emily makes that sound again, but this time it's pure disgust. She grabs my phone and types rapidly before I can stop her. Emily, don't. Too late, she says, handing the phone back. Someone needed to tell him. I read her response. Mom's mother just died. Don't wait up. Better yet, don't wait at all. The 3 dots appear immediately, showing Tom is typing. Then they disappear. Reappear. Disappear again. Finally, a single message. We'll discuss this attitude when you get home. Discuss what? Emily's voice rises. The fact that his wife's mother died and he couldn't be bothered to show up? That he's more concerned about dinner than supporting his family. Lower your voice, sweetheart, Aunt Margaret says, but there's approval in her eyes. A nurse approaches, clipboard in hand. Mrs. Mitchell, we need to discuss arrangements. The word arrangements hits me like a physical blow. My mother is dead, and my husband is worried about takeout. The absurdity of it all threatens to overwhelm me. I'll help, Emily says firmly, taking my arm. We don't need him for this. As we follow the nurse, I realize Emily's right. We don't need him. Maybe we never did. My mother's last words to me echo in my mind. It's never too late to start over, sweetheart. Never too late to demand more. I squeeze Emily's hand, feeling stronger than I have in years. Tom wants to discuss attitudes? Fine. We'll discuss plenty when I get home. Starting with divorce papers. The funeral home smells like artificial flowers and secrets. I sit at the mahogany desk, staring at Mom's life insurance documents, while the funeral director drones on about payment options. Something's wrong with the numbers, but my grief-addled brain can't quite grasp what. Mrs. Mitchell, he says, sliding another form across the desk. We'll need the initial payment today. The policy information your husband provided seems to have some discrepancies. Discrepancies. The word feels wrong in my mouth. The policy appears to have lapsed 3 months ago. The room tilts slightly. That's impossible. My mother never missed a payment in her life. He clears his throat. According to our records, the automatic payments stopped when the account was closed. What account? More paper shuffling. The joint account she shared with your husband. He was helping manage her finances, correct? The pieces clicked together with nauseating clarity. Tom had offered to help with Mom's finances last year, claiming his financial expertise would be beneficial. She'd agreed reluctantly, after he'd worn her down with his usual mix of charm and condescension. My hands shake as I pull out my phone, opening the banking app. The joint account I share with Tom shows a balance far lower than it should be. I start scrolling through transactions and my stomach drops. Casino withdrawals. online gambling sites, wire transfers to accounts I don't recognize. The funeral director's voice seems to come from very far away. Mrs. Mitchell? Are you all right? I need a moment, I manage to say, standing up so quickly my chair scrapes against the floor. I need to make a call. In the hallway, I dial Uncle Robert's number. He answers on the first ring. The life insurance lapsed, I say without preamble. Tom's been stealing money. Not just from me, from Mom. A long pause. Come to my office. Now. 20 minutes later, I sit across from my uncle's desk while he pulls up financial records on his computer. As Mom's attorney, he has access to everything. Jesus Christ, he mutters, clicking through screens. Vanessa, this goes deeper than you think. The house equity line, your retirement accounts, Emily's college fund. Each word hits like a physical blow. How much? Initial estimate? Close to 700,000. The room spins. That's not possible. Someone would have noticed. The bank. Tom works in finance. He knows how to hide things. Uncle Robert's voice hardens. He's been bleeding you dry for years. My phone buzzes. Tom's face appears on the screen along with the text. Where are you? We need to discuss funeral arrangements. A laugh bubbles up in my throat, harsh, ugly. Discuss funeral arrangements? He stole my mother's life insurance money, and he wants to discuss arrangements. Don't respond, Uncle Robert says sharply. We need to handle this carefully. I'm calling Sarah Chun. Your criminal lawyer friend? He nods grimly. We're going to need her. But first, we need to secure what's left. Do you have any accounts he can't access? Before I can answer, another text from Tom appears. Found the coffee mess in the kitchen. Had Maria clean it up. You're welcome. Don't forget we have dinner with the Petersons tonight. The casual entitlement of it, the assumption that I'll play my usual role, smile through dinner while he networks, something snaps inside me. I want him destroyed. I say, surprised by how calm my voice sounds. Not just divorced. Destroyed. Uncle Robert studies me for a long moment. He will be. But we have to be smart about this. He doesn't know that we know. So what do? Go home. Act normal. Have dinner with the Petersons. He starts typing on his computer. Let him think he's still in control while we gather evidence. Can you do that? I think of Mom, of all the times she told me I was stronger than I knew. Of Emily's college fund, emptied by her father's addiction. Of 23 years of subtle manipulation and calculated neglect. Yes, I say, standing up. I can do that. I learned from the best, after all. What do you mean? I smooth my skirt, check my makeup in my phone's reflection. Tom taught me everything I know about pretending. The Peterson dinner feels like a performance in hell. I sit at our oversized dining table, watching Tom charm our guests while my skin crawls with every practiced laugh, every rehearsed story. He's wearing his favorite blue tie, the one I gave him for our 20th anniversary, paid for with money he probably gambled away. Vanessa's taking some time off, Tom explains smoothly, reaching for the wine bottle. Family matters. Sandra Peterson's face crumples with manufactured sympathy. Oh yes, we heard about your mother. Such a shock. I grip my fork tighter, imagining driving it through Tom's hand as he pours more wine. Yes, I manage. Quite unexpected. Speaking of family, Tom continues, Emily's considering law school. Following in your footsteps, John. John Peterson beams. Smart girl. The firm's always looking for fresh talent. My phone vibrates in my lap. A text from Sarah Chun, Uncle Robert's lawyer friend. Documents ready. Meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. Excuse me, I murmur, standing. I need to check on dessert. In the kitchen, I lean against the counter, breathing deeply. The catering company's tiramisu sits perfectly plated on the silver tray. Another performance piece in this elaborate charade. Need help? I startle. Sandra Peterson stands in the doorway, her expression oddly intent. I'm fine, I say automatically. She steps closer, voice dropping. Are you? Because I recognize that look during dinner. I used to wear it myself. I don't. My first husband was a gambler too. She smooths her expensive blouse. Lost everything before I caught on. The signs are always there, aren't they? We just choose not to see them. The tiramisu blurs as tears threaten. How did you know? She smiles sadly. The way Tom keeps checking his phone under the table, the slight tremor in his hands, the desperate edge to his charm. She pulls something from her pocket, a business card. When you're ready, call her. Best divorce attorney in the state. Before I can respond, Tom's voice booms from the dining room. Ladies, we're dying of dessert deprivation out here. Sandra squeezes my arm and helps me lift the tray. As we return, I catch Tom sending another furtive text, his jaw tight with tension. Later, after the Petersons leave, Tom loosens his tie. Good night, all things considered. John seemed impressed about Emily's law school plans. Emily isn't going to law school. He blinks. What? She's never wanted to be a lawyer. She's applying to art therapy programs. I start gathering plates. But you'd know that if you ever actually listen to her. Don't start, Vanessa. Not tonight. He reaches for his phone again. Expecting an important call? His head snaps up. Something flickers across his face. Fear? Work never stops, you know that. Right. Work. I set the plates down carefully. Like the work you did managing my mother's finances? The color drains from his face. What are you talking about? The life insurance policy lapsed, Tom. Funny timing, considering all those casino withdrawals from her account. He recovers quickly, switching to his patronizing smile. You're upset about your mother. You're not thinking clearly. Why don't you take one of your pills and… I'm thinking very clearly. I pull out my phone, show him the banking screenshots. $700,000, Tom. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? His facade cracks. I can explain. The market's been volatile. I had to make some temporary adjustments. Save it for your lawyer. He grabs my arm as I turn away. Don't threaten me, Vanessa. You have no idea what you're doing. Who do you think pays for this house? Your clothes? Your entire lifestyle. I look at his hand on my arm, then into his eyes. You're right. I don't know what I'm doing. I smile, channeling his own practice charm. Yet, the threat in that single word hits him. His grip loosens. Get some sleep, Tom, I say softly. You look tired. Must be all that work you're doing. I leave him standing there, his phone buzzing again in his pocket. Upstairs, I send a quick text to Sarah Chun. Make it 8 a.m. I'm ready. Sarah Chun's office feels like a war room. Bank statements and legal documents cover every surface, each page revealing another layer of Tom's deception. I stare at a credit card statement, charges from a jewelry store I've never heard of, dated last Valentine's Day. He's been busy, Sarah says, highlighting another suspicious transaction. And not just with gambling. My throat tightens. There's someone else? Several, potentially. But that's not our primary concern. She slides a document across the desk. This is… The paper blurs before my eyes. Foreclosure notice. Our house, my house. The one I'd spent 23 years turning into a home. He took out a second mortgage without your knowledge, Sarah explains. Technically illegal, but he forged your signature quite convincingly. A knock interrupts us. Uncle Robert enters, his face grim. The SEC filing just came through. Tom's company is under investigation for financial irregularities. How bad? I ask. Criminal charges bad. He sits heavily. The Peterson merger was a smokescreen. The whole company's about to implode. My phone buzzes. Emily. Mom, where are you? Dad's acting weird. He's packing up his office stuff. I'll call you back, sweetheart. I look at Sarah. How much time do we have? Hours, maybe. Once the SEC announcement goes public. He'll run, Uncle Robert finishes, with whatever money he can grab. Sarah starts gathering papers. We need to freeze accounts immediately. File emergency motions. Another text from Emily. Mom, seriously. He's asking about your mother's safety deposit box. The blood drains from my face. The jewelry. Mom's jewelry. What jewelry? Sarah asks sharply. My mother's collection. Family heirlooms. She kept them in a safety deposit box at First National. My hands shake as I type a response to Emily. He's trying to access it? He can't, Uncle Robert says. Helen changed the access permissions last month. Only you can open it now. I remember Mom's last visit to the bank, how insistent she was about updating the paperwork. She knew. Somehow she knew. My phone rings, Tom's face appearing on screen. I answer on speaker. Darling, his voice oozes charm. I need a favor. Your mother's safety deposit box. I need to inventory the contents for the estate. Could you meet me at the bank? Sarah shakes her head violently. I'm rather busy today, I say carefully. Perhaps tomorrow? It really needs to be now. For legal purposes. A pause. Unless you don't trust me? The facade cracks slightly on those last words. A hint of desperation bleeding through. Of course I trust you, I lie smoothly. But I'm having lunch with Emily. Why don't you join us? We can go to the bank afterward. Emily's not answering my calls. That's odd. She's sitting right here. I watch Sarah frantically typing on her laptop. Tom? Is everything okay at work? The line goes dead. He's panicking, Uncle Robert says quietly. That makes him dangerous. Sarah looks up from her laptop. Account freeze orders are processing. I've notified the SEC about potential flight risk, but we need to move fast on the safety deposit box. If there's anything valuable. My phone chimes again. A text from an unknown number. Your mother knew what he was. She left something for you. Back of the box. Don't let him find it first. Aunt Margaret, I breathe. She must have been with Mom when. We need to go, Sarah interrupts. Now, before he figures out we're onto him. I stand gathering my purse. What about Emily? I'll pick her up, Uncle Robert offers. Take her to our house until this blows over. As we rush to the elevator, another text arrives from Tom. I tried to protect you from this. Remember that. The threat in those words chills me, but underneath the fear, something else burns. Rage, pure and clarifying. He stole from my mother. Tried to steal her last gift to me. Used our daughter as leverage. Sarah, I say as we reach her car, forget playing defense. I want everything. The house, the accounts, his reputation. Everything. She smiles grimly. Now that's what I wanted to hear. The safety deposit box lies open before me, empty except for a single envelope. Mom's jewelry, generations of family history, gone. The bank manager shifts uncomfortably behind me. Mr. Mitchell accessed the box an hour ago, she explains. He had the proper documentation. Forged documentation, Sarah corrects sharply. She's already on her phone, alerting authorities. My hands shake as I open the envelope. Inside, a handwritten note from my mother. My dearest, if you're reading this, Tom got here first. But remember, I always taught you to keep your real treasures closer to home. Love, Mom. My phone buzzes. Emily's text makes my blood freeze. Dad's at the house. He's acting strange. Says we need to talk. Sarah grabs my arm. Don't. We'll call the police. He's with my daughter. I'm already moving. Call them, but I'm going. The drive home is a blur. I find them in Tom's study. Emily perched nervously on the leather sofa. Tom standing by the window. Still in his office clothes but somehow disheveled, undone. Family meeting? I ask, keeping my voice steady. He turns and I barely recognize him. His usual polished facade has cracked, revealing something desperate underneath. You've been busy today. So have you. How much did Mom's jewelry fetch? Emily's sharp intake of breath tells me she didn't know. Dad, you didn't. I did what I had to do. He moves to his desk, opens a drawer. To protect this family. By stealing? Gambling away our savings? Having affairs? Affairs. Emily stands. What affairs? Tom slams the drawer shut. Enough. I had a plan. Everything was under control until you started interfering. Control. I laugh and it sounds foreign even to me. Is that what you call forging my signature? Emptying our daughter's college fund. Emily makes a small wounded sound. My college fund? I was going to replace it, Tom insists. The Peterson merger was a fraud, I finish. Like everything else about you. He moves suddenly and something glints in his hand. Mom's favorite pearl necklace. One piece left. Thought, maybe we could start over. I'll get help. Counseling. Whatever you want. The pearls catch the light, and I remember Mom wearing them at my wedding, her eyes full of concern she tried to hide. She knew even then, didn't she? Whatever I want. I step closer. I want the last 23 years back. I want my mother to have died knowing her grandson's education was secure. I want. Mom. Emily's voice cuts through my rage. He's crying. And he is. Tom Mitchell, master of manipulation, stands before us with tears streaming down his face. For a moment I almost weaken. Then I see his other hand moving toward his pocket. Emily, I say carefully, go to Uncle Robert's house. Now. But. Now. She hesitates, then runs. Tom doesn't try to stop her. You know what's in my pocket? He asks quietly. Plane ticket? Fake passport. He pulls out his phone. One button. One call to my friends at the SEC. They'd love to know about Uncle Robert's creative accounting from the 90s. Aunt Margaret's tax issues. The family's not as clean as you think. The bottom drops out of my world. You destroy them too? I'm already destroyed. His smile is terrible. Might as well make it a family affair. My phone buzzes, Sarah, probably with the police. But it's too late. The damage is done. What do you want? A head start. 24 hours. You keep the house, what's left of the accounts. I keep the evidence against your family. He holds out the pearls. And you keep these. As a reminder. The pearls feel heavy in my palm. Not just jewelry now, but the weight of an impossible choice. Save my family or serve justice. Mom's voice echoes in my head. Keep your real treasures closer to home. I look at Tom, this stranger I spent half my life with, and make my decision. 24 hours, I say. Then I burn your world down. He nods once and walks past me. The front door clicks shut with devastating finality. I sink into his chair, pearls clutched in my fist, wondering if revenge is worth the price of becoming him. 23 hours and 47 minutes after Tom walked out, I find Mom's old recipe box in the back of the kitchen cabinet. Inside, wrapped in yellowed newspaper, lies a small red USB drive. My hands shake as I plug it into my laptop. Folders appear, dozens of them meticulously labeled with dates going back 5 years. Financial records, email screenshots, photos of Tom with various women, bank transfers, gambling receipts. My mother, the quiet gardener who never touched a computer, had been building a case against my husband for years. My phone rings. Saracen. Vanessa, we found him. Private airfield outside the city. Flight plan filed for Buenos Aires. 13 minutes left of his head start. And the SEC evidence against my family? Bluff. We checked, there's nothing. He played you. The recipe box feels heavy in my hands. How fast can you get to the airfield? Already on my way. Police too. I grab my keys, the USB drive secure in my pocket. Tell them to wait. I need 5 minutes with him first. The private terminal is small, lit by fluorescent lights that make everything look sickly. Tom stands at the counter, arguing with the clerk. He's wearing the same suit from yesterday, but somehow he's aged a decade. Problems with your flight? I ask. He spins, face twisting. You're early. Mom always said punctuality was a virtue. I hold up the USB drive, along with keeping good records. The color drains from his face. What is that? Everything. Mom knew what you were doing. Every transaction, every affair, every lie. I step closer. She was protecting me all along. The jewelry in the safety deposit box? A trap. She knew you'd go for it first. He lunges for the drive. I sidestep easily. He's not as quick as he used to be. It's over, Tom. SEC agents are outside. Police too. You promised 24 hours. His voice cracks. You're just like me, breaking promises when it's convenient. No. I set Mom's recipe box on the counter. I'm like my mother. Patient, thorough, and done with your games. He laughs, a hollow sound. What do you want? Money. I can get more. I want you to know what it feels like. To realize everything you built was a lie. That someone you trusted was watching, waiting, collecting evidence of every mistake. His face hardens. You really think you can survive without me? You're nothing but a housewife with. With what? A daughter you gambled away the future of? A mother who outsmarted you? A family who actually loves me? I open the recipe box. Look inside. He hesitates, then peers in. Among the recipe cards lies a single sheet of paper, Mom's last bank statement. The one showing her real account, with enough zeros to make his eyes widen. She left everything to me, I say quietly, the day before she died. Almost like she knew what was coming. You bitch. He grabs for the box, but freezes at the sound of doors opening behind us. Time's up, I say as Sarah Chen enters with 2 FBI agents. Oh, and Tom? The pearls were fake. Mom sold the real ones years ago to pay for Emily's secret trust fund. They lead him away, his protests echoing through the terminal. Sarah squeezes my shoulder. You okay? I look down at the recipe box. Generations of family wisdom. Love disguised as instructions for pot roast and apple pie. Mom's final gift wasn't the money or the evidence. It was the reminder that real strength comes from protecting what matters, not destroying what hurts you. I'm better than okay, I say, closing the box gently. I'm free. Outside, the sun rises over the airfield. Somewhere across town, Emily is safe with Uncle Robert and Aunt Margaret, probably making breakfast and planning her future. A future secured by a grandmother who saw everything and said nothing, until exactly the right moment. Mom always did have perfect timing. The garden blooms exactly as Mom planned it. Late autumn roses climb the trellis, their deep red petals catching the morning light. I kneel in the soft earth, transplanting the seedlings she started in her greenhouse, her last project, now mine to finish. Emily appears beside me, 2 steaming mugs in hand. The prosecutor called. Dad took the plea deal. I accept the coffee, breathing in its warmth. How do you feel about that? Honestly. She settles onto the garden bench. Relieved. No trial means no more secrets coming out. No more pretending. The morning paper lies folded on the bench. Tom's guilty plea relegated to a small column on page 6. The mighty falling quietly without fanfare. Uncle Robert says the restitution payments will start next month. Emily continues. Not that we need them. No, I agree, thinking of Mom's hidden accounts, the careful planning that ensured our security. But it's not about the money. It's about consequences, she finishes. The wisdom in her voice makes my chest ache. She's grown so much these past few months. I brush dirt from my hands and join her on the bench. I found something in Mom's study last night. I think you should see it. From my pocket, I pull out a small envelope. Inside, a photograph. Emily at 5 years old, perched on Mom's lap while they plant marigolds. Behind them, partially hidden by the greenhouse door, Tom stands watching, his expression a mix of confusion and something like fear. She knew even then, Emily says softly. Didn't she? She knew a lot of things. I touch the photograph gently, including how to play the long game. A car pulls into the driveway. Emily's new boyfriend, Michael, right on time for Sunday brunch. He emerges carrying a folder of tax documents, research for Uncle Robert's case against Tom's former business partners. Emily stands, brushing off her jeans. Speaking of long games, Michael found something interesting in Dad's old company records. Want to hear about it over breakfast? I watch her walk toward him, confident and purposeful. She has her grandmother's steel beneath her gentle exterior. A quiet strength that doesn't need to announce itself. The morning mail sits unopened on the kitchen counter. On top, a letter from the prison where Tom awaits sentencing. I don't need to read it to know what it contains. More explanations, more justifications, more attempts to rewrite our history. I feed it into the garden shredder, letting the pieces scatter across Mom's flower beds as mulch. She would appreciate the symbolism, turning poison into fertilizer, decay into growth. Inside, Emily and Michael spread papers across the breakfast table while Aunt Margaret pours coffee. Uncle Robert peers at financial statements through his reading glasses, making notes in the margins. Look at this, Michael says as I enter, pointing to a highlighted section. The pattern goes back further than we thought. There are others involved, bigger players. I should feel triumph, knowing we've uncovered more evidence, more ways to ensure justice. Instead, I feel something quieter. A peaceful certainty that Mom would approve of this moment. Not because of the revenge or justice, but because her kitchen is full of family working together, protecting what matters. The recipe box sits on the windowsill above the sink, catching morning light. Inside, between cards for pot roast and apple pie, lie the seeds of my mother's legacy, not just the evidence that brought down Tom, but the wisdom to know when to fight and when to grow. Emily laughs at something Michael says, the sound bright and unguarded. Aunt Margaret shares a knowing look with Uncle Robert. The garden outside continues its slow, steady blooming. I think of Tom in his prison cell, surrounded by concrete and steel, and realize that true revenge isn't about destruction at all. It's about flourishing despite those who tried to clip your roots. Mom knew that too. She always did have the best gardening advice.